So I'm back on the Sonoma. I have the motor on the stand. It's upside down. So this is the starter. So what had happened, I've just ground this all off. This piece of the block is so thin it broke out. So this is where the bolt used to go. So I have this one's stripped out, which is special, but that's not a problem. So this one here is broke out. So what I'm gonna do, if I don't just sit on the starter. Okay, so let me try to do this with one hand. Okay, so what I did is I bought a coupling nut. So they're actually longer than this. And I've ground that back side off. So what I want to do, of course I have to clamp that down. And then I'm going to weld that to the block. I've cleaned it up. I've got some nickel rod to weld the cast, which I welded a leg on a cast iron stove the other day. It went really well, and I forgot to do a video because that's not where my mind is when I'm trying to do things. But anyhow, so if I turn that, I've rounded off here. So you can see I've ground off the back side. Now I was going to try to make that. I was going to try to make this surface flat. But this bolt right here, the transmit, look, I mean, they almost cross each other. So I don't want to grind off any more than I have to. So what I'm trying to do now is just make this parallel to the block. So I really don't have a reference to go by because that hole is gone. So I was worried about it lining up. Let's see in there. So the Bendix has to line up with these teeth on this flex plate. So the beauty of having this on the stand is I can tack that on there, and I can grab my battery and just check it before I weld it solid. Man, that doesn't look bad. I also got some shims too, because sometimes you have to shim. It's supposed to be 30 thousandths clearance between the bottom of the tooth and the bottom. Anyhow, so just so happened to be that I'm trying to find something 30 thousandths that's nice and long. I got a stick pin here, but you have to measure them because some are 20 thousand, some are 30, some are 40. So this is what I'm attempting to do. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so here I am. I welded this. It's a real booger. It's that nickel rod. It's really hard to weld, and it's not penetrating right there, but on the side it is. So what I did was I mounted the starter in here, and I just I put that bolt on there, and I lined up the starter. I took, I don't know if I can do it from here, but well, the starter's going to be in the way now. But I laid this across the flywheel, and then on that bolt right there, I made it perpendicular. I mean, yeah. So you can just see there's that bolt. Okay, so it's square to the flywheel. All right, so I tried it, and I had to put a shim in it, and then it's hot in the garage here. Got the door shut, but I just wanted to try this because I came out here before and my battery was dead, so it wasn't cranking it very good. So what is going on here? I mean, come on, dude. I'm trying to do something here. Shoot, you can't have nothing. So let's see what we got. Oh, my ground was off of there. What happened? Shoot, I wonder. Maybe I hope I just did that. Okay, these aren't really jumper cables. These are some homemade jobs that I thought they were going to work better than they are. Anywho, I get that on there right, positive. Be careful that we don't hit any casing or anything there. Alright, and let's see what we got. It's still, I don't know if that's still tight, or if that battery was, it is engaging in there. It's so engaging. So, I'm gonna, yep, don't do that. I'm gonna leave this on charge for a little bit longer and see what's going on here. So I think it still needs to be shimmed out a little bit farther. She's just jamming up, I believe. Looked like that battery was charged, so I'm all done for today. But I just wanted to get, you know, try it and see. It looks kind of successful. So kids been in here in the pool all afternoon, having a good old time. If you want something to keep you, had plenty of work, get one of those. Got the livestock out here. Oh, we got 3 of them out here. Well, usually the girls just chase them off. And they keep coming back, which is really kind of strange. You think they would not. But, anywho. I don't know where I left off yesterday, but I was shimming this and whatnot. And I've got it pretty good now, I think. There's some clearance there. Might have to take one of the shims out now. I gotta measure the clearance of that tooth on that flywheel. And it wasn't turning over good, and I thought, what is going on? Then I remembered I got the engine on its side, and there was oil, so there. Now that I know that that's, well, I have a giant pile of shims here, so I don't know if you can see that, but that's my booger weld. It is penetrating on the other sides. I didn't want to get near that, the hole in the end of that. I didn't want to get snot in it. I think I did anyhow. I might run a tap through there, but anyhow, I welded that, coupling that on there like I said, and so I think I'm going to proceed. I'm going to take that flywheel off, order rear main bearing seal. I'm probably going to do the front. I'm probably going to put a new water pump on it while I'm at it. This clutch fan is, well, it's not hooked up, but it's not working right, and I knew that before, so I guess I can continue on with the project. Well, let's do some, I don't know, these things, I don't know who put these in here this tight, but I'd love to have one of those nice new impacts, but yeah, that may be a problem. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of work. If I didn't tell you, this is my first attempt of welding a nut on there. See, I grind the backside off, but yeah, burnt right through it. While you're welding up against something that's really big, they can take a lot of heat to something that can't. And so, and I haven't used an arc welder in, decades. That's what I learned on. I actually went to school for, in high school I did a 3-hour-a-day program where you learn to weld. And I could have went with it from there, but then I went to a shipyard and saw guys crawling up inside of tiny places with an exhaust fan and all their gear and spending the day there, and nope. So anyhow, Yeah, it was, I don't know, I hope that holds. If it doesn't, then I'm probably gonna have to get another block. Gotta clean up, see, I was trying to start that stick and arc welder. Gotta clean up the boogers on my pin. And I welded this to it at one point. Oh, I can tighten that back up. So yeah, that's what I got. Well, maybe I have to go a different approach. I might have to wait until that's hanging. The only problem is I want to get this base pan off here, and if I can see correctly, let me see. I have, so you have your regular bolts here. That's kind of a mess in there. I cleaned this up a little bit, but I didn't waste a whole lot of time on it. I thought there was a bolt. I just have to look in the manual and see. But anyhow, that's it's a bolt right there. That's too bright. Yeah, there's a bolt in there in that mess. It's actually this right here. See, yeah, that's better without the light. All right, give the camera some credit, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta take off to town and install some doors in the church. Well, prepared to believe it's backwards, but anyhow. Sanderson's and Genesis shirt. So, really glad that that's working now. I don't know if I should take a couple of shim or two out and try it again, or just go with it. So it also was starting hard. If anybody knows, I had in the other video, as earlier on I showed you there was a regulator in there I was going to change. If it wasn't working, that said it was a hard start issue, but it said if it was a problem, it would be clean in there. And you saw it was dirty. So I'm going to replace it anyhow, but I'm trying to think of what else I'm going to order. I'm going to order a temp sensor. I don't know if that's oil pressure gauge, or if that's, I don't know, I'll have to look. Anyhow, I'm definitely going to change everything on the back of the engine. I hauled the plugs out. They're not terrible. It's like they've been, I mean, that one's not real great. It's alright. Gap's pretty good. I have one cylinder on the other side that didn't look good, but it might be because it's been laying on its side for 20-30 hours. So anyhow, I have I might just JB weld that valve cover. I don't know. I'm gonna pop those off and look at this, but it could be leaking. I don't remember before I pressure washed this. You can see this is, I'm not the first one here. Big old giant bead of RTV, but it wasn't leaking. So everything I say is throw those China wall gaskets out and use the RTV. So I am gonna pop a valve cover off and look at that. Of course, that can't be that simple. I got this bracket here. Sorry, I'm not great with the camera. You know, some of you guys had said something about, you know, my editing stinks and all that. Well, you're right. Right now I'm doing it on my phone. If you know of some software that's inexpensive for free, I need to learn how to do this, obviously, but I'm just doing the best I can with what I got. That's all. So I think I'm gonna put this one up, post this one, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna take the base off, check the bearings, to see what they look like. The drain plug looked nasty, so you know, I don't know. I drained this all out, in case you're wondering, when I had that flipped over. It still could have been turning over hard because of compression and the fact that, you know, there's some oil left in it. So what do we got? I don't know what size this base plug is. Okay, so it's a 15. But there we are. If it was setting after I drained it, if it showed any other junk on here. I mean, it was a lot of stuff on it. Yeah, see, there still is. Yep. I mean, it was way more than that before. That's not a lot. But it seems I just set it down and cleaned it off. And just what residual oil dripped down after I changed it. But I don't know, maybe it's not that bad. When it was it ran really nice. So I'm not like overly concerned about it. But, yeah, anyway. So that's about it. I think I'm gonna. You guys got any suggestions? And the starter still seems like it's turning faster than that. And this is actually a different starter. I may throw this one back on now that I've got the compression taken off it. This was newer. At first I was told it was a starter, so I thought it was stripped or something. I think this one's in better shape. So I might throw that one back on there before I put it back in the rig. But anyhow, God bless you guys and see ya. Make a comment, suggestion, you know, to see where this channel goes. I know the mechanical stuff isn't as interesting to some people because there's a lot of it out there, but anyhow, I think that'll do it. Peace.